Well, we're back again. Welcome back to another episode from the Bird Room. It's been a while since we've done an episode. I have been asked quite a lot, are we still doing them, what's going on, and why have we not done many? Simple fact, simple reasons is we've been so busy. We've had Stafford, the National, which was showing birds out. We had the trade stand there. We've had shows back-to-back weekends, so it's just a matter of obviously fitting it in when we can. Not just that, before Stafford, the birds weren't ready. They weren't, there's still some now that's not completely finished. So, as you can see, or as you can hear, birds are in pleasant form, singing. But now they're getting through the molt, there's a lot more to show you. Before I carry on, thanks for everyone that did come and see us up at Stafford on our trade stand there. First time we've done it, and obviously we'll be there in the future now. So, look to meet more of you guys up there. Obviously Newark, we've got Stafford again in March, and obviously we'll try and take time to have a chat with as many of you as we can. But obviously you know how busy it does get up there. But anyway, thanks for everybody, and special thanks to Chris Harrison. Good friend Chris, he designed these for us for the day. In fact, the picture of it, you can probably see it, that is actually my fife on there. In the other bird room, you've probably seen it a while ago when I filmed it, when it was going into the molt, finishing the molt. But yeah, thanks very much Chris, and I know that my daughter absolutely loves it because she spends more time wearing it than I do, so well done. So far as the shows, so that's what we're going to look at today. I mean, over the last few weeks, a number of things have changed in the bird rooms. I'll elaborate later on a little bit more on that. But mainly I'll talk about the shows, what we've been to, and how we've done at them shows. The first show was obviously Stafford, the National. Didn't really get much time to look at the birds, whether it be the fives or the British section of birds, because at that point we was closing our stand down and having to pack that all away before we had to shoot across into the show hall and see how we'd done. Within the five section, I mean, we entered some fives in there. We did really well. I think we had 6 firsts. In fact, all but 4 was in the top 7. So great achievement. That's the first time we've shown fives there. Great achievement, and obviously looking forward further on into the show season. Our birds will be getting better, as I've been looking at before filming today, and there's some beautiful birds coming through. Well done to everyone that obviously got specials up there quite a while ago. I know Dave Cheshire did really well. Well done, Dave. Matt Dando did really well. I mean, his cinnamons, really, really lovely birds. Seen him at a couple of shows since, and the real credit to him. The Kendall stud did really well. Like I said, I didn't really spend much time in there. It was a matter of get your birds and get gone, that sort of thing. While obviously we was there, I'd just like to apologise to the person that ended up with his fife in my show bag. I'll explain that. That wasn't down to me, my friend Jamie. Some people obviously had birds in the British section as well, which I'll tell you how they did shortly. But while the birds in the British section was being lifted, I asked Jamie to lift certain fives for me while I was doing the rest of them. Obviously you can imagine it's quite a mad rush at the end trying to get everyone's birds in. He had the birds in front of him, and he presumed it was mine. Never checked the tickets like an idiot. That's you, Jamie. Idiot. He put someone else's bird in my bag, and I'm going around saying, check your bloody bags, check your bags, I want to get off home, it's a long drive home. Only to come, when I checked the rest of my bags, not the one that Jamie done, he said, oh, your bag's there. Someone else's bird was in there, so I'd like to apologise to you if that was you. But anyway, yeah, that, quite, well, very, very embarrassing to be fair. But it does happen. The British section, at the time I didn't even know how mine had done. So basically I got straight home. It was near on 10 o'clock at night. All I did is literally open the cages up, put the birds back in the relevant cages without checking anything. I know the goldfinch mule, you've seen it throughout breeding season, the one we bred this year, got best current year mule or hybrid show, so over the moon with that, and I only knew that because obviously there was rosette on it. Greenfinch I didn't check, obviously, just put them in. It was too late, I was knackered. We'd been at the show or at the sale since 5:30 I think that morning, so obviously it's a long bloody day. The day after I got a message from a friend of mine, Kev Taylor, who went on to win Best British in Show with his, I think it was his Green Hen, got Best in Show, but he had a couple on the top bench, and Jack Lloyd with the best overall mule hybrid, which was one of my favourites, the Green and Chaffee. I have seen this last year, so a lovely, stunning bird. But anyway, Kev messaged me and said, did you win the adult greenie class? At this point I had absolutely no idea. Like I said, all I did was just put the birds away. Anyway, I went out and checked the boxes, because at that point this was a Monday or a Tuesday, so I'd not took the labels off yet. And yeah, we won the adult greenie class, adult greenie hen class, which takes some doing, to be fair. Third in, I believe, the adult cock class. I think third in the current year hen class, and fifth in the current year cock class. So overall, that was a real achievement. Especially in the greenie classes up there, when you've got your likes of Jack Lloyd, Darren Bond, Terry McCracken, and the great Kev Taylor. I believe he's won it for the last 3 years with the British there, with greenfinches. So pure credit to Kev where it's due. And may it continue, Kev. But I will catch up to you at some point. So that was obviously Stafford. Like I said, it was a long journey. The week after, we had another show booked in. A friend of mine, Dave Chesh's show. So, same again, long weekend. No, actually, tell a lie. Day before that, I was judging a CBS show. And obviously, with the posts and stuff, the numbers were down a little bit. I was judging the British section. I asked them, could I have some fives? Obviously, I'm not having no conflict of interest that way, because I'm not even on the same show hall. It's a CBS and I want to support them anyway, and they was more than happy for me to enter some fives. A guy called Louis Russell came up to me as I'm printing the labels on the birds, and he said to me, "We're a little green South Green hen." He said, "That'll take some beating today." Yeah, I mean, I know it's a lovely bird. So well, you know, if it does well, it does well. And there's no the people at this show, especially in the five section, they are, you know, within their own rights, brilliant breeders and exhibitors of fives. Mike Soft and David Haynes, who do really well year upon year with the fives, like the Midlands and all the bigger five shows. So yeah, I mean, anyway, the bird went on to win best five in show and best overall canary in show. So I was over the moon with that, and it was a great day out. With the British, like I said, the British section, it's slightly still a little bit early anyway to be really judging the British as they are. Especially mules and hybrids are not completely finished, and there was some mules that day when I was judging. They're not finished colouring in the face, and the birds were just not completely there. But Alistair Phillips Hill won with a lovely red pull. I believe it was current year red pull cock. All you could do is judge the bird that's in front of you at that point, and he had obviously the best bird there at that point. Lovely greenfinches there as well, by a mate of mine, Paul. Two lovely greenfinches there that he benched. A friend of mine, Bob, also benched a lovely greenfinch from one of my greenies, same line along the lines anyway, but I didn't obviously, as I'm judging that, I didn't know whose birds they were. You judge the bird, not the person, or that type of carry on. So more of them to see later on in the year, I guess, as the season progresses, and I'll see more on the show bench. But like I said, straight after that, I went to the Oxford International Show run by Dave Cheshire. And anyone that runs any shows knows how much hard work and effort goes into putting the show on. So credit to Dave and Graham, who put the show on. Fantastic day. We achieved, I think, it's another one of our greens, a self-green cock, I think it was, or heavily variegated. Can't remember. Got a picture. I should look in the records really. From the same green line that we've been breeding for the last couple of years. Heavily variegated green it was. I remember, cockbird. So again, over the moon, and thanks for letting me leave earlier on the day, Dave, because you know I had to get back. I'd been here, there, and everywhere. Again, well done to Matt Dando for benching a stunning, same again, the cinnamons. And Dave, I think he took 5 specials that day, and credit where credit's due. Stunning birds, and obviously make carry on for you, because like I said, there's a lot of effort, not just putting a show on, benching your birds and getting your birds up to a standard to win the special class. Dave also went on to win Best Novice in Show, so great show there, Dave. Other winners, Adam Rain, I think won with Allied to White. Henry Cooper got Best in Show with, I believe it was a clear yellow cock. Don't quote me on that, I'm just going off what I can remember. Again, stunning bird, and I didn't have no pictures or take any pictures of that because just a busy day and I had to leave early. Been there for a while, I had to get back to go to another sale that I do, so as you can imagine, it's like, well, crazy. So obviously that was them shows. The week after that, again, as I explained, really busy weekend, was my own show, the Surrey 5 show, one that I run with Gary McBeef and Terry Hardy, and a couple more on the committee. But anyway, the show went off really well. We benched, I think it was 284 birds, a couple of dropouts. I know a couple of the lads had COVID, which I had COVID the previous week, I ended up bloody getting COVID again. So obviously COVID was going around, and then there's a bird flu restrictions and a lot of things where obviously the birds didn't get benched. But for me, I was over the moon with the amount of support we got. So thank you everyone that did come and support us at that show. Winners on the day was the Kendall Stud. I think did they win 5 or 4 specials? Alan Todd, I believe, won in the champion section. Did he win Best Variegated, I believe? Dave Cheshire again went on to win Best Novice. Absolutely stunning bird, Allied to White bird. And this bird was worthy all day long of a win. And even I thought at one point could have gone for Best in Show because it was that good of a bird. We got, what did we get? Best 10% with a saddleback, absolutely stunning bird. You've seen this, and here's a picture of it now. The bird itself, you followed throughout the breeding season. It's off one of my elves pair that I got off him last year, and may continue to. It's a cock bird, so I'll be using that over a few various ends this year. We also won again Best Stealth Green with another Stealth Green N, different to the one that we entered at Aldershot. One thing that I will stress importantly is that I don't try and put the same birds out at every show. Give them a rest, especially if they're ends, because they're more important breeding later on down the year or next year. If you want to carry that on, if you just drain them, showing them week in, week out, I believe that you're going to drain them. It's the same with the greenfinches. I do the same thing. A greenfinch, if I calculate if I was to do 8 shows a year, which more likely only do 6, I'd put that greenie out 3 times over 8 shows. That's the good thing about having so many birds. Obviously we've bred 144 and 5s to put different birds out every time, and it gives them a rest, and I believe that rest in between a show will help them later on. And not just that, if you've got some that's just coming through the molt now, put them into a show, get them out, and they'll get that training whilst in a show. But don't overshow your birds. That's just me, and it's one thing I've done all the time. I've been showing the British mules and hybrids, and I believe it does help them out in long term for breeding. While we're talking about shows, and obviously there's a lot of bird flu around at the minute, and I think it's within us as breeders and exhibitors to be precautionate as we can and preventative as we can, so these shows don't stop completely. What I've been doing when I've been showing, every time I come back from a show, firstly, we know might spread, through the cages on the show bench, so I'll give them a spray all the cage to get rid of any nasties on there before you obviously take your bird out first, put it back in its stock cage or wherever you keep it in normal terms. Spray the cage, leave it for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then spray it with clean and safe disinfectant that we stock. And I'm not just saying this because we stock it. If there's any problems within that, if you contaminate them, I'm not saying that our birds are going to be carrying any bird flu or any rubbish like that, because all this bird flu with captive birds that we breed, I believe, is absolute rubbish, but that's another story. So I just precautionately just spray the Johnson's Clean and Safe all over it, disinfects them, it smells nice, cleans them out, disinfects your cages, and I think if we do our little bit to help this problem, it won't be a problem further down the line and get everything cancelled, because that's what we do. We like to show birds, and that's part of our breeding year. It's not just breeding and keeping birds. We like to breed them and look what we've bred and exhibit them and show our birds off and hopefully get a rosette at the end of the day. So that's just what I do. As we're assessing our birds now, like I said earlier, some of our birds are actually coming out the molt relatively slowly, but believe me, there's still feathers on the floor daily, moving up in here and mopping up, but the birds are coming through, and what a difference they're making. I mean, there's the flight cage here is housing some birds that I've picked out that is not necessarily on the keeping list, but I walk past it every day when I'm doing the feed and water, and there's always one catch my eye, but they're staying there for now. But the ones that's behind me have been singled off, that I've liked them earlier on, to maybe look towards keeping for breeding, but we'll see. There will be plenty of pairs, cocks, spare hens to go later on in the year as I sort through them even more, because obviously I'm not going to be breeding with 144, intending probably again 20 hens. We'll decide what colours we're going to be looking at before I decide on what how many cocks we're going to keep. Probably, you know how it goes. I'm not going to tell you how to suck eggs. So far as the British mules and hybrids, along the top row is our greenfinches. I'll tell you one thing, they are coming on fabulous. I can't wait to actually get some of the second round birds out there on the show bench, because I think they're gonna fare really well. But we'll see. As you know, obviously work and the seed stuff and the bird products, it's taken off quite well, so I have to get the orders out daily. The mule and hybrid pairs, we've got a couple paired up, but struggling really to pick up bully hens. British bully hens, really struggling, so hopefully if I can't pick them up within the next 2 months, then the bully hybrids are just going to have to take a back seat for now, and then we'll try next year. Because one thing, anyone that breeds mules and hybrids, the idea is to get the pair bonded now, and we'll sort them on later, and I'll leave them in a cage together to bond together. But we'll see. Now, I haven't forgotten anyone that knows or watches our episodes. A while ago we put it out there on what birds we should try for next year. It weren't just one pair we've gone with. We've actually got we've gone for more than one variety, let's say that much. So we have got some borders coming, because it was mentioned borders, and yeah, why not? Give them a challenge. Really, really quality borders as well. Something that may surprise you is some of these frill canaries. Yeah, we've got a pair. I admired them. Dave Brown, he had some at one of the shows, and you asked me 10 years ago, I'd have said absolutely not. But the ones that he benched on the day I see, and you have to admire them. And a friend of mine had some, and I said, well, I'll have a pair. Let's have a pair. So yeah, they're going to be on for the coming breeding season, and anything we breed off them, I'm going to give away to, obviously, the viewers of the channel, because that's what I said I would do. Also, we've acquired 2 pairs of Orfinches. 2 pairs, actually a breeding pair, and the young from that, and the siblings from that, which is a cock and a hen young one. So, gonna either father-daughter, mother-son, or try and swap a cockbird, the young cockbird, for an outcross cockbird. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm in no rush. I've waited for these for some time, and I'm not rushing. We'll see over the time to come. But like I said, a few things have changed in the shed, which I'll show you in a second. So this was a side here. We had flights. We moved 2 flights. Initially, I was going to move 3, which is this one here. And one of the lads, a friend of mine, packed in with the fifes. So I had the cages, and they are Dave Rand's cages, what Dave Rand's made. And they fit like a dream, end to end. Well, we've got 28 here. I was in some of the shorty with the fives, and also greenfinches at this side. As you can see, a lovely golden mule, the one that we did well at Stafford with. Well, unfortunately, that is it for today's episode. We will be putting regular content out there now. Like I said, the birds are finished. Oh. Jesus, thunder, I hope you don't like it, because I'll be running in the house. So regularly we'll be putting content out there, keeping you up to track on what's going on in the bird room. I've not visited the other one today, fed and watered them early on this morning, and there's plenty of opportunity for me to show you through the rest of the selection of birds that we'll be keeping, more on the Orfinches, more on the frills. And more on the borders when we get them. Really looking forward to getting them. Looking forward to breeding them this coming season. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed today. We will be up at Newark, whatever date it is, 30th, 31st of this month. Hope to see you guys there. If you don't attend that and you need something, check out our website, directbirdproducts.com. And don't forget, like and subscribe. It is free. And follow us throughout the show season, the breeding season, and see the progression of the 5-stud and the British birds, mules and hybrids. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you again soon. Next week, maybe.